I respect it. And a quick topic about some of the guys in Brooklyn. I know Kyrie Irving has been making a lot of head turning statements this year. When he kind of disappeared for a period of time, and even like he's been making little memes. Been star of a lot of memes with him burning sage and everything prior to a lot of the games. Recently, he made headlines because he mentioned that the NBA should get rid of Jerry West as the logo and replace it with the Kobe Bean Bryant as the logo. You have any thoughts on that?
I'll let Dan, you start first.
This would be the shortest response ever. I agree 110%. There's like no question asked. And I've read some comments on Instagram where people are like Michael Jordan should be the logo and all this stuff. But in terms of coming in and changing the game and impacting the game, when you look at Jordan and Kobe, like Michael Jordan came in, did his thing, won 6 rings. He's the greatest player of all time. He doesn't want to be the logo.
Mm-mm.
Like Kobe, the whole thing is look at the legacy that Kobe left, the Mamba mentality that we carry with us, the all of the clutch shots he hit, the fact that tell me how many times that you've gone to the court and you've shot around and you've said, Kobe. Nobody's ever said MJ. No, Kobe. But Kobe's just left his mark that much. And I just think, especially with the unfortunate passing and the legacy Kobe left behind for all the players in the league,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that you had MJ tear up at the funeral for crying out loud,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I think Kobe should be the logo. It's no debate. They need to make it happen because no disrespect to Jerry West. Jerry West is an all-time great, but he should not be the logo forever. Kobe should become the logo.
I agree, man. I mean, I think there was already talks about them removing Jerry West and using something else. So this is a perfect time to slide Kobe in. Speaking on Kyrie, I mean, he's been his mentality, like the way he's thinking, been the same way since he's been at Duke. So it's kind of not a surprise
No.
to a degree. People can like say flat Earther, but like he's always. I respect Kyrie for being himself though. He's not always fitting in with the crowd. He's always going against the grain to a degree. Now, some things I'm like, all right, bro. Like, I mean, personally, I wouldn't do it, but I see where you're going. But even look at his shoes, though, like the concept and his colorways and the reasoning behind some of the designs he have. It's like he's kind of like, what I'm saying, to a degree, he's been doing this, but he's just now getting recognition or really now like having a I could care less mentality. But yeah, I agree though. I mean, like you said, like Kobe would be a perfect transition. More people, I honestly know more about Kobe than I know about Jerry West. He's made more of an impact to me, and I'm assuming our generation than Jerry West did. No disrespect to Jerry West, and he's a legend. Like did what he did with the Lakers, but honestly, we like you said, Kobe.
No, and the whole thing is just like generations change.
Right.
The whole GOAT debate has changed. Not saying that Michael Jordan is not the GOAT, but I'm just saying people are saying that people have argued more that Kobe's the greatest player of all time. Like here, Kobe and LeBron could
Mhm.
be that, could be the greatest of all time. I think it's MJ. MJ is the greatest player of all time. LeBron's just my favorite ever. But it's just Kobe's left that lasting legacy
Mhm.
that I think to be the logo, you have to leave a lasting legacy within the league, which I don't know how Jerry West left that lasting legacy to be able to become the logo. That's me. But Kobe, he did it. He should be the logo. I say after this season, they need to make the switch. No debate. Should happen.
Then what do you think on it, bro?
Uh, I mean, it's not like Jerry West, I think, is an individual who has gone about saying that he deserves to be the logo or anything like that. I think that when they've asked him, he's kind of talked about him having no, um, like just not necessarily even having any feelings one way or another about being the logo. And I'm sure he wouldn't have an issue with being kind of superseded by somebody as the logo. But I know one of the quotes that when Kyrie put it on Instagram, he was talking about, Black Kings being the one that built the league. And of course, he spoke about it during Black History Month, of course. But the point still stands. There's a huge percentage of the league that is African American, or someone who's Black, and it's even that white man on as the logo it is tough. So I can see it from that angle. During that times have come, and especially with them recently trying to push the Black Lives Matter movement, and speaking out against political and racial injustices. I could definitely understand why moving towards another direction would be important. But then, like I said, just looking at the career of the Mamba, I could understand exactly why you would like, especially for the upcoming generations, moving him, because but nobody watched Jerry West. Like,
Maybe your dad, your
I
granddad.
don't think he wants Jerry West. I, like I don't know. Have you ever asked? Has anyone ever sat and told you about the amazing career of Jerry West that to them stuck out so profoundly? Certain moments, and I think it's his that stuck out so amazingly to them about why he should. No one's ever talked about that. So while Jerry West in his time period, had some great stats, you always look at Kobe Bryant as having a lot of different moments in basketball that stood out. The type of player that he was, that he invoked a lot of hard work, dedication, the Mamba mentality, and he was so immersed in the game of basketball that he was a voice for a lot of the NBA's improvement, as well as being a voice for women's game, as well as just kind of moving forward towards the youth period, just trying to implement everybody to move forward. And of course, he has a line of clothing that is as well doing well. So I know you mentioned somebody being the GOAT, such as Michael Jordan. He's got some iconic poses and everything like that. Honestly, I don't think Jordan cares. Like you said, and that's got, I think, kind of been the kind of knock on Jordan, has been kind of outside of basketball, he's non-existent. Whereas you got guys like LeBron James who have kind of made their stand, socially, and and use their platform for a lot. Where Jordan has not done the same thing. You've got Kobe Bryant, who kind of puts you right in the middle, and I don't think that there should be an issue with that, because I wouldn't have an issue with possibly replacing that as Kobe Bryant, just because of what he's done for the game, and the mentality is kind of brought about, and I think that would serve as to signify something a little bit more than possibly for the upcoming generations that Jerry West made.
Right. You can't see anybody wearing the number 24 without thinking Kobe.
Mm-hmm. True. What was Jerry West's jersey number?
Let me find out.
If you went on the street and asked 20 people who the logo was, how many people would tell you it was Jerry West?
He wore 44.
That don't even sound appeasing.
So how many people would tell you that Jerry West is the logo? So granted, spectacular player in his own right. He's done some great things in the organization pieces for the Lakers, and moving forward and everything like that. But for the casual fan and what it kind of means, and I think moving forward is what the game can transcend to, I don't think Jerry West means as much to future generations as what Kobe Bryant could have done in his career.
Facts.
I agree.
I think he could definitely serve as much more of a symbol, if anything, during the time. So I can definitely agree with Kyrie Irving as to why that statement would make sense. And he's been making some statements that have kind of been interesting to say the least. But I know he kind of dumbed it down and kind of dialed out a little bit for a little bit of time, because he's seen a lot of backlash from, like you said, his flat earth comments and things of that nature. But sometimes when he says some stuff, I can definitely agree with some of the statements that he makes, even though some of them can be a little off the wall.
Right. But yeah, I agree, man. Jerry West is worried about managing the Clippers right now. He's not even too pressed on the logo to begin with. So
I'm sure if someone would ask, he would probably he'd probably be the one to vouch for it, if anything. So I know he was really, I know he was at one point pretty close with Kobe Bryant.
Right.
So I'm
All
sure
right,
he'd vouch for it.
right. Facts.